Here we are in EU4. We started off as Scotland, although we've since formed Great Britain. Even though part of me is like, oh, it would have been cool to stay as Scotland, but I always have to hit that button to tag change. We have control of a large part of the world here. If we go and pop into our diplomatic map mode, so everything that's in bright green, we control directly, right? So all of Great Britain and Ireland, Iceland, a part of the area formerly known as Norway, Brittany over here, some bits in southwest Iberia, including Granada. We've got some bits of Brittany here. And then in the pale yellow, that is also controlled by us, but I think it's because it's overseas. So we've got these bits over here. We've got all along the Ivory Coast there. Ashanti is our vassal, so is Benin technically. We're working to annex Ashanti over here, which controls air. So we are air united once more because we've got Ayrshire and air over here. These are our bits, our bits, our bits, our bits. Our bit over there, these little islands, everything over here. We've got New South Scotland over here as a colonial nation. Then in the New World here, we've got the Moist Hebrides, we've got the Hotter Hebrides, we've got the 18 colonies, Redneck Scots, and Newfoundland Haggis. We've got a lot of territory, you guys, and yes, we're allied to Sweden as well. We were, up until very recently, allied to France, but now our political situation is such that we hate Russia, we hate Spain, we hate France. Why is France not yours? Well, it was actually at the very end of last stream, in a war that we're in. So we declared war on Spain. France joined us for this, but at some point they separate pieced out. That may or may not have included a deal for them to break alliances with us. I'm not entirely sure what it was, but the alliance went away, the royal marriage went away. They started being all shitty to us. They haven't rivaled us yet because they're full, but it's only a matter of time because we do hate each other. Scornfully insulted. They want some of our provinces, and that's just the way that it's going to be. Reclaim the staple port. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of stuff. So we're going to keep hammering away at here. We finally took a crack at Spain. Spain has been crazy and blobby all game because they instantly got the Burgundian inheritance at the start of the game. Then he got Aragon. So they've been very, very dangerous, but we have whacked them a few times, and we're feeling pretty good about that. The most recent wars were some stuff against Morocco as well, because we fed a bunch of territory to Ashanti, and we took this territory over here. Right now, we're sitting kind of low on manpower. 10k out of a cap of 188k, which is actually going to go up pretty quickly here, because I did, before the episode started, I guess I don't have building construction on this list, do I? I have a bunch of buildings being built all over the place. I think I spent about 14,000 right before the stream started, just putting down some various buildings and things like that. The other thing I did is I switched our focus over to military focus over here. Although we only have a +1 dude. Oh yeah, because I can't promote him and I kind of wanted discipline. We might sub you out. Because right now we're still super ahead of time on admin and diplo, but we're no longer ahead of time on military. And the reason for that is the last group of ideas we finished is quantity. So here's our ideas. Innovative, exploration, quality, expansion, trade, and quantity. Still don't know what our next idea will be. There's, some back and forth. Aristocratic ideas is kind of interesting for the absolutism. I think there have been some discussions about maybe doing that. Although, because we're behind on military now, we may consider picking up an admin or diplomatic. Humanist is still something that's fairly tempting with how big we are. We haven't needed it, but we'll see. And yeah, cool, man. Absolutely, there's still very much an interest in us taking some more territory from Denmark, who's currently only allied with the Papal States. Which is interesting because I forgot to mention we actually own Pisa over here too. So that may be the next thing we do. For now, however, we've got a couple armies. The Army of Ireland is currently over here helping to bop rebels in Ashanti. And the 4th Army, which is not a very interesting name, is currently busy bopping rebellion stuff in the Moist Hebrides, both of which have recently been expanded a lot. So they're going to have some problems with uprisings for a bit. The Royal Army is actually sitting just here in Ceuta right now. And I think to do some rebel busting as well. I actually don't know why you're not assigned to rebel busting. Oh yeah, but the problem is I can't rebel bust across the way here. So yeah, I think you're going to sit there and we're going to move some people. We are constructing some troops over here. No, we're coring that. I think we're going to move some people across the way soon to do that. So, trade protections. All right, colonies are underway. Good. Right in the middle of angry colony Scots. Oh, the small bit of Brazil. Yeah, we've been eating at Brazil. We took all the coast, and we couldn't take everything, so I always like to leave people landlocked Or split in two is another great way to just, like, really hurt a country. We can send another missionary out, but we don't have a good missionary target. Tatooine is not bad. And this is with us having a +2 diplomat dude. We'll wait for a little bit. Battle of... Oh! Okay, that's just over here. Some rebels, that's fine. Benin has a high liberty desire, but it's dropping pretty quickly. That's going to be okay. We're making friends with them, and that should be fine. Ashanti's done that. That. Cord Gibraltar, lovely. We need Sweden under personal union interest. Rename the 4th Army Cool Man Army. We can't use your name for everything, Cool Man. We got to spread things out a bit. Border friction with whom? With Sweden. We could lose our claim on Elfsborg. We do kind of need a friend in the world. Elfsborg is over here. I think we can put a claim on it when it belonged to Denmark. I think I'm willing to do this. I mean, it's not necessarily that we need Sweden, but it's probably a good idea to have a friend out there. We actually have an idle dude. An idle diplomat. Let's go and send you here for now. We just went over the ideas. Sorry, Asdopa questions. I don't know how to parse your name. Sorry, but yeah, we get, I don't know, standard stuff. Galicia, Volnia going against Austria. Cleansing of heresy. Wars! Alright, got a little fanfare. Manpower's all the way down. I mean, people were moving so there's attrition, but it was probably just restocking the armies. So yeah, I'm in no hurry to start a war at this point. This is just transports, right? Oh, no, it's actually frigates. Wait, none of my ships are protecting trade? No, you're protecting trade node in Lubeck. Right. We actually have no ships protecting trade in the English Channel, and we're still at 77%, which makes me feel pretty good. And I've recently built some more trade buildings over here, so it feels like I don't really need ships over here. We've got 82% here, and that tends to be my target, because it can be hard to squeeze out the last few percent. Is some of this being retained? Some of this is being retained. That doesn't seem right. So let's take one of our fleets. We're going to split you in half. And I'm going to send you guys... Oh, we'll do a little upgrade. Yeah. And then we're going to send you to protect trade in the Gulf of St. Lawrence. Make sure to pull out every last penny out of that. Plus, it'll backflow more trade over there. Meanwhile, the Caribbean, almost all of it... We only have 45% of the trade power, but almost all of it is going to Chesapeake Bay, which is good. Because we don't want to go to Bordeaux. We don't want to go to Seville. There's not much trade there to talk about. A fair bit of it is being exported from Brazil. What about here? Yeah, we only have 65%, but the vast majority is still going to the English Channel here. It might be worth... We'll send the other 25k to work on the Ivory Coast trade node. We'll go ahead and do upgrades first. That's fine. And then we'll protect trade in the Ivory Coast. Seems legit. Yeah, those ships have 1% because I just upgraded them. But they're not going to move out. They're going to sit here and repair until they're ready to go. When you have a protect trade job, they will... I mean, if they get damaged from something, they'll go and dock, and they'll just sit there until they're repaired before they go out. We got coffee in Sempit. Nice. Oh, right. I did go and build a whole bunch of... that's not the right button. A whole bunch of the trade company investments as well over here. So, the 5 buildings over here are like really good. They seem like I'll just build them everywhere. Whether or not we build some of these others, we will see. It'll depend a bit on the region and how it's developed and things. CBs against France. None of this matters. None of this matters. Religious actions can be taken. I want more Monopoly. All the Monopoly money. Boardwalk. I want Park Place. Hey, Jusius. Came for some city years ago. Got hooked in Paradox Games. Thanks for awesome content. Well, thank you very much, Jusius. There will be blood. Commonwealth, yada, yada, yada. Okay. How's our relations? We're at 3 of 5. We've got a marriage and alliance with Sweden, and that is all. We can't marry Ashanti or Benin. Ashanti's being annexed, so it's fine. Benin mostly likes us. We'll be able to bring them in relatively soon. Rebel uprising, Castilian Peruvian separatists. In Melodia. Oh! I didn't realize this was not part of the Moist Hebrides because it's a different colonial region. Okay. No, click, goddammit you. Now, this army here, which is doing suppression... Oh, you are doing this area. Okay, but they still might uprise, but that's okay. We have an army in place to go and stomp on them when that happens. That's going to be fine. Hard Monopoly. Monopoly, worst board game. Well, again, so some argument to be said, if you actually play by the true and proper rules, it's not as bad as it seems. 50 ducats is nothing. Sampit gets trade power, diplo power. None of these actually matter, really, at this point. I want to click the middle one. I think I accidentally clicked the top one, but yeah, there's no real difference. So, in terms of great powers, where are we? Hey, we're finally number one! It took a while. It took a long time, but we did get there, because I don't think we were number one at the start of last week's stream. Talisman's... Okay, Talisman... It's got some such good bits, and yet also some others. Oh, you're supporting Benin? You little shit. I didn't think you'd be able to do that. I mean, Benin is... Yeah, see, they were actually almost not above 50%. Now they're going to be stuck at 100 because of the support. Well, we'll just have to go to France and get a truce with them. That'll prevent them, I think, from doing that. Oh, I am maxed on admin. Thank you. So we can't do this. Can't do this. Stability's at +3. I guess we'll do a little development. Yeah, we'll do a little development, I guess. What we can do here, not make core, is if we sort by development, what we may want to do is just bring up places so that they can have an extra building or something like that. It's not like there's an institution out there, but like, so all the ones at 9, let's go ahead and just bring them to 10 by spending a little admin. I know we don't have the edict going already like this, but there's going to be sort of scattered. This is fairly cheap. I'll just go ahead. Oh, because the base tax is too high. You know what? Let me put a point into Diplo. There you go. So that opens up the possibility of plopping some more buildings, potentially somewhere useful. We don't know. It just sort of did it blind, but... we don't have that much gameplay left, and I'm not sure if those are worth it. There you go. That's going to be okay. Trade building. See, do we want a trade building in Lisboa? Here's the question. There's actually very little trade in Seville at this point, which is interesting. The most valuable thing about us generating trade power in Seville is probably going to end up being something like just the back propagation of trade upstream, which will help divert more power away from Seville, which is a little bit funny. So the question is there any point in building a stock exchange in Lisboa? Maybe? You know what? F it. Let's do it just because it's kind of a troll move and I love it. Armies, training fields. Oh, we can get a decent one there, and maybe there as well for now. We could go and boost our force limit too, but that's not really been a problem. Decent manufactories. I mean, that's overseas stuff, but let's do it. I suppose I could spend some money in my vassals' territory too, but we'll wait for now. How does the game of EU4 end again? Guessing a lot of ways. So it ends in 1821. Is it January 1st of 1821 or is it January 1st of 1822? I think it's January 1st of 1821. So effectively 1820s last year. Someone's going to respond in there. It's hard when someone says it ends in the year because you want to make sure you're or January 3rd, yeah. But 21, yeah. So 1920 is your last year. Once it turns to 21, that's the end of the game. Because there's no win condition. Like Brazilian territory. France has declared war on someone. Are you in war against anyone interesting? No, just a single person. Yeah, I don't want to jump on. I don't want to start a war right now because we are, kind of hurting for things. I didn't realize. Looks like we do need to summon some more dudes over here. Yeah, we're only at half our force limit right now. Okay, get a little bit more here for rebel stomping. Reenact the battle. Massive field exercises. Okay, that's money and manpower for prestige and professionalism, and 10 years of war games. More maintenance, but more yearly army professionalism. I think it's worth it. The money means nothing to us. The manpower is not that meaningful. It's a nice little boost. You know what? Let's do it. Done. More dudes with guns before attacking France. Yeah, well, that might help. We're not looking to start a war with France right now, but out of curiosity, if and we did, France doesn't have that many active dudes. It has more manpower than us right now. Its force limit's only 137. Wow. But that's quantity ideas for you. They almost certainly didn't do that. But how about we check out the army composition? So, morale-wise, they have a higher morale. We do have the higher discipline. More professionalism as well. But they do have pretty good stuff otherwise. We've got more tradition. The morale is going to be a little annoying, but it's not that meaningful right now. 0.5 morale difference when we're at this point isn't that meaningful. There we go. So, you guys have popped up. All 14 of you. And this army, yeah, it's going to go out there and stomp it. It's going to get some attrition along the way, but that's going to have to be okay. No commander. Yeah, they took control of that, so there's some separatism, but no biggie. So you're assembling over here. You don't have a commander. We might want to give one to you, because we're not at our limit. We've got a fair amount of army tradition. Let's roll another general. And this person's name is going to be... we already used Eladrin. Fianna! I think Fianna was used for something recently in something. Was it a Civ City? Still, that's going to be okay. Wow, that's a lot of fire pips, which is quite nice right now. We'll put you in charge of that. It would be nice to do some drilling, but right now we just have to focus on a little bit of rebel busting. We can invest into technology. I don't think there's any reason to wait on the military, since we're already behind time, so it's not an overhead. New infantry and new cavalry and military tactics. Sounds pretty swell to me. Boom! I'm the city, the fishy one, yes! Alright, in terms of dudes here, at this point, I think it's fair to just pick people with more fire pips, since that's sort of good. There's probably someone in the chat who will be able to clear things up if that's not accurate, but they all have the same morale, so it's just fire versus shock, and I'm pretty sure... actually, your shock is slightly higher than your fire. Is it really? It's about the same, though. Now, for the cavalry is mostly doing shock pips, which is fine. We're going to focus on that. So then the question becomes, how do we want to balance it? Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, it's because of that. So I think the ones that minimize the pips in fire is fine. And then the question is, how do we want to balance morale versus the shock and offense versus defense? We're going to go with Dragoons because Dragoons is a cool name. Done. This is how I play games, you guys. Dragoons have the cooler name, therefore. Cavalry General. Well, you got a mix of things. You got a balanced army is what you got. But yes, your skill... Well, the fire, no, you're actually really good at infantry. And, artillery, I guess. Do a Europa 101 video. So, I do have a beginner's tutorial for Europa playing as Castile. It's a couple of expansions ago, but it should still mostly apply. And I would start by looking at that. At some point, we'll probably have to do, another one, or look at a different country, something that plays quite differently from Castile. Yeah, so you can de-siege that before you kill those guys, which is a little annoying, but ban publication or get some unrest. We'll just spend the admin because we're way ahead on it still. We'll recall the diplomat there. Separatists in Cadiz. That's slightly annoying. We're going to go ahead and move you to Gibraltar, which is mountains. They will move and try to attack me in Gibraltar, and then die. There's 20, a couple more of those. I don't want to attack here. It is drylands, but... And rebels tend to be fairly easy to fight, but that's going to be okay. Honestly, the series is useful to watch just so you can keep up with what is happening on stream, because it moves pretty fast. That's true. And the thing about that tutorial that I did as Castile, that was with no DLC whatsoever. Which is kind of nice. And these Let's Plays, while the Let's Plays are great and we get to see a lot of, later game stuff, we have all the expansions. So if you don't have them all, they might see some features in here. They're like, what? How does that work? So, our king or queen or whoever has died, it was Maximilian or something or other, and Artistic Sumo is now our new emperor over here, a 4-5-1 leader. So low on the military, but we do have the military focus on right now, which is pretty good. Cunning and silver tongue shall aid us in forming strong alliances with our friends. What friends? And an heir to the throne, Mary, a 5-5-1. So we keep having fairly low military score, but that's, pretty good set of points overall. I think it is going to be important for us to go ahead and get ourselves a higher level dude here. So We'll run David Hastings, mostly because he's of our culture, and we can actually level him beyond level 3 if we want. His land maintenance modifier is fine, but not the end of the world. Hey, we're 10 across the board here. Guys, we're a perfect 10. That's what we are. All hail Emperor Artistic Sumo, that's right. Da da da. 24 years old. Long may he reign. Coast has been raided. Alright, just assembling some dudes over here to go and smack the crap. Oh, there they go. Excellent. That's what we wanted. We wanted them to attack us in the mountains, which they have now done. So you're going to stand over here and de-siege that. And then because the ones in the north probably got over... Oh, you have no unrest either, so none of this area will have unrest. Excellent. 10-10-10 with rice. Alright, just hang out back in Gibraltar. And yeah, so we're kind of waiting our manpower to reload here. I mean, it's not going up right now because we're spending it on new dudes, which is also fine. Like, basically, we're just wanting to get closer to our force limit and our manpower limit. And in theory, I'm kind of okay with being at peace for, like, 10, 20 years. I don't know. Base manpower in Coventry and some manpower. All right. We can purchase another ability. We might want just the fort discount, because we've got some next people. Autonomy change cooldown, Monthly devastation, Don't care about that. Yeah, I'll get protecting forts. So we don't have to pay maintenance on this one or this one. Which is okay. None of it matters. Hey, Zen! For our upcoming war with France, we actually might want another fort on their coast. New level of army professionalism. Excellent. It's not a terrible idea. Now, we don't have a fort in Pisa, and I think it would be a decent idea to get one over here. And what I'll do... So I don't care about the trade here, so I'm going to destroy this trade depot. 75% autonomy, because it's just a territorial thing. And I'm going to go and build a big giant fort here. And I forget what they call it. Basically, disinherit an heir. Yeah, it's useful for steel. Yeah, there's a button right over here. I can disinherit Mary. It costs you prestige, but we could do it. We got a decent heir. Loose lips. No, that doesn't matter. Augsburg is now a free city. Now, Holy Roman Empire has got nothing going on, right? Yeah, they got their force reform, and that's all pretty standard. You got 0 imperial authority and going negative. There's not enough princes. There's a religious discord, all that kind of jazz. As per usual, it's rare to see the AI be able to do the HRE properly, but on the same hand, like historically, it didn't really happen, all the way, right? Different things formed Germany. Rebel uprising, Portuguese separatists. That's sort of okay, although I guess yeah, if we could do some rebel suppression over here. So I'm gonna need my transport ships to do this. So the Royal Navy here is my heavies and my transports, which is fine. Naples over in Italy might be a good vassal if they don't have strong alliances. Hey, yeah. Are you independent now? Well, that's interesting. What happened with Spain that forced... Well, shit. You would even vassalize. Alright. Let's do it. Need to get a relation up, but that should be fairly easy to do, actually. Benin, we'll take you back. Do this. Royal marriage. Done. Oh, we're maxed on points again. Yeah, we'll grab the admin tech. 75% ahead. We can build our counting houses. Not so bad. Royal marriage offer from Naples. Yes, that'll save me a request. Or no, I think I already sent it. Yeah. So, moot. Religious action. We're going to go for mercantilism. And I was going to do something else with all these button presses. Oh, right. We unlocked a new building. So, counting house, which is here. Yeah, there's some really good sites for that. I'm not doing the math on the payback time, but I'm pretty sure anything that's like 20 or above, it'll probably be fine. Some of these that are slightly cheaper already have the tier 1 building, so for those 10 and above, I'd feel okay with as well. just to say. Just to pick a value that seems close enough to okay. The payback period will be modified by all kinds of different policies we put in and things like that, and then you got to figure out, well, how much is left of the game. I don't know. It's fine. We got tons of money. Here, let's make more. Portuguese separatists have popped up, and we're instantly shut down. Well, that was easy. Okay. So if we want to start shit with Denmark, which actually, yeah, I think we can probably get and do that without worrying about charging up manpower. Let's move these troops over here, because again, the Papal State has got is allied with them. And then we'll move one of our other armies over to Denmarkian territory. And then we'll go and finally see if Cool Man Fight is home. Let me grab you, drop you off right over here. Thump. Excellent. I don't know if we have claims over all this. We do have, like, the really decent CB, but it might still be worth... Because we have Imperialism CB, so, like, war declarations are pretty good and easy. We don't need to fabricate claims, but it might be nice. You're set... Oh, you're still set to blockading ports? You're going to help protect trade in Lubeck. And yes, thank you for the reminder. We're going to improve relations with Naples. Done. Excellent. Spy network, annexing. Yeah, so actually, let me bring back the spy in Norway. We don't need that. Get some pop. Pirates. Everyone's busy. Excellent. We got